So not a funny topic. We are a comedy podcast, but sometimes you just don't feel so funny about certain things.
Yeah.
I'm as apolitical as they come. You rarely, if ever, have heard me go into any kind of rant.
Right. Not even personally.
Yeah.
Let alone never on the show,
Yeah.
but not even personally. You just don't do it.
Just don't choose to do that. But I do want to say something today about and to all the people who are have decided that killing police officers has become a sport. I'd just like to ask you to stop doing that, please. And stop posting these 30-second clips of police officers at work and then being outraged by them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yes.
Learn what the word context means.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up. I'm not going to reach very many people if I talk down to people.
Sure.
People sound stupid, but seriously, the word context, just look at it. Mm-hmm. You're looking at 30 seconds out of a situation where someone had to call the police department.
Right, for an issue.
The police department, the police officers had to be dispatched. Mm-hmm. Police officers had to receive as much information as they could on their way there. So they're armed with that information. When they get there, then they have to deal with the situation, and then they have to deal with the outcome of that situation, whether that's putting somebody in handcuffs and taking them to jail, or unfortunately, ending someone's life.
Right.
Which is no police officer I've ever met in my life wants to end someone's life.
Yeah,
I
would agree.
I've never heard a police officer say, when they got up that morning, I'm going to,
my goal today is to go shoot somebody.
Is to go in someone's life and bring all that bullshit down on myself that is going to come down with it. It made me think of something. Any other profession, especially, and I flashed to when I went to the doctor with my son to get a cast put on his arm. Remember when he went off he toppled off the trampoline?
Yes. And
he got what's called a buckle fracture. That's just a very minor one. They don't even need to set that.
Okay.
But still, just the doctor touching it, putting the little cast on it and that sort of thing. My kid was going nuts. And I thought, you know what? If I didn't understand the context of this, if I wasn't in on this whole thing, if I didn't have all the information, I would be pounding the living hell out of that doctor. Right. I would hate all doctors based on a 30-second video of that doctor setting my kid's arm. Well, he didn't have to set it, but if you saw a video, if your child had an actual broken arm and you saw a video of your kid getting his arm set, only 30 seconds of it. Right when the kid's at his, at the zenith of the
when it's about to break over there and set back in.
Yeah. Then you would absolutely hate doctors. Everyone would.
Right.
So please remember that, everybody.
Yeah.
Killing police officers is killing your cause.
Sure.
I believe that. It's killing your cause. How are you going to get people behind you when you're ending people's lives, especially those who are chosen as peacekeepers?
Right.
Right. There are bad cops.
There's no doubt.
There are absolutely bad cops. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it. To do the job at a lot of places, the smaller departments and the smaller burgs and what they, and what fancy people call the flyovers. A GED is all that's required. You could be homeschooled. You could have zero social skills. Mm-hmm. And technically become a police officer,
as long as you can get past, police academies and application process, interviews, all that stuff goes well.
Yeah,
sure.
But we all know, everybody knows that one cop that's a couple,
and that goes for any profession.
Absolutely,
there's always the guy. There's always that one dude that fucks it up for everybody, man.
Yeah,
always. Just some talking points for me listening to kind of what you've been saying. I think one of the biggest things is people, especially now, media being the way it is, and the fact that we have access to everything in a snap. It's at our fingertips instantly. So these stories, not only do you hear about them as basically as soon as they happen, but everybody's super reactive. So they see that 30-second clip, and now everybody either is A, Monday morning quarterbacking the cops, B, pissed off about the situation due to whatever reason you're bringing into it. And let's be real, that's not a good situation for anybody. That's not a good situation for law enforcement. That's not a good situation for the suspect. It's not a good situation for the community, right? Nobody. It's not an awesome thing when police officers are shooting people and they're dying, or any time somebody dies in a community. That's not like you're going to throw balloons up,
Right.
Generally, unless they're a horrible human being. But like you said, you get that context you're talking about, and common saying, there's three sides to every story. You got one person's side, other person's side, what actually happened, right? And it's easy to see something and say, well, they should have done that, or this should have happened, or it shouldn't have went that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
that's my point. There are mechanisms in place
right
for this. A police officer, let's say I'm a police officer. I shoot someone. I know from that day, I'm not going to be a police officer until that's all cleared up.
Right.
Again, they're taking my weapon. They're going through their investigation. We are going to go to a grand jury. We're going to let a grand jury decide if I'm going to be charged,
right?
With what or with anything.
Sure.
Am I going to be charged? So there are things in place.
Right. I think one of the main arguments that people bring up is it seems like cops get the extra nod, kind of like rich people do, like how they can kind of pay their way out of not being charged with shit, kind of. So I think that's one issue especially a lot of that comes from like in the past, though. You know what I mean? Like recently, with all of the hot button like shootings, police shootings, some have not gone how some people expected. Some have, as far as the end verdict of the police officer being charged with murder or whatever. And due to some of the videos, some of those guys absolutely should have, right? Yep, horrible, heinous acts that they did. And then other times, I think a lot of people too have to think about this as far as, and I don't think a lot of people know this, but as far as when an event like that happens, or any event, let's say it's not even police related. Let's say you were defending yourself because some guy attacked you, and it might have been a guy you had a beef with for 10 years, maybe just didn't like him, right? So one day he gets super pissed off, attacks you, you defend yourself and kill the dude, right? Just happenstance. Whatever took place, whatever it means, he ends up dying, you're not dead, right? So you go through the normal rigmarole, you get investigated for homicide, everything goes down, and then you get cleared of it, right? Some people are going to be pissed off about that. Other people are going to say, oh, you're completely justified. And what a lot of people do is they take everything and wrap it into that one thing. So regardless of the 10 prior years of whatever you did or whatever happened between you two, doesn't matter. The only thing that happens, especially the court size, is what happened that day, right? It doesn't, they could care less if you egged his house at age 10. It's irrelevant. All they care about is you showed up at point A, he was here at point B, somehow you guys met at C, something happened, and now we have a dead body. So we have to look at what happened and why it happened.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It can be a long process, and so people, I'm not the most patient person.
Neither am I. I'm horrible about it.
Wait for those things. You've seen trials come 3 or 4 years after the fact.
Especially big ones.
Or 10
murders.
years.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Horrendously long, yes.
It's unreal. So that's it. That's all I've got about that. I'm going to step off the soapbox now. I apologize for that, but it's just something in my heart right now. I felt like I needed to say.
It's our show.
And that's right.
If you don't like it, there's a button somewhere on your device. That's either stop, pause, delete, whatever.
That was my final word on it. We at the B team support law enforcement.
Right.
If you don't, there's plenty of stuff to listen to other than us. So let's make some people laugh. From Bad Monkey Studios in beautiful Amish country, heard throughout these fabulous United States and around the globe on the World Wide Web, this is the B Team with Cory and Jim.
That was a good lead into a fake laugh, what I was just doing right there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty talented, though. Not a lot of people can do that. So
Nope.
I had to stop patting myself on the back.
Oh, wow. While we regather our thoughts, let's just go off the rails a little bit.
All right.
I'm going to do emails first. I'm not waiting to the end.
Son of
yeah.
People come to expect, okay?
Yeah.
A certain
Yeah. I know.
schedule, if you will, of we do some stuff, and then towards the end of the show, we wrap it up all nice in a bow. Well, instead, you're giving them dessert before dinner. God damn!
They didn't expect me to announce my running for president today.
Right,
either,
yeah.
So let's go.
Is that the right? No, that's right song.
Hail to the chief, Mom.
Yeah, that's right.
Genetic Alley. Get it?
What do you think?
Genetic Alley. Well, it's ALLIE. Right. But I think that's a cute one. Genetic Alley. I think that's pretty cute. Anyway, Alley, spelled ALLIE. That would be girl, right?
I'm going to assume so.
Okay. Corey.
What's up, girl?
This is you. Do you believe that if we ever catch a Sasquatch, it will be able to mate with humans and produce hybrid offspring?
First of all, not if, when we catch the Squatch. I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to volunteer.
Yeah. Oh, you know that.
I don't know. if that's going to be allowed. What I will tell you, what will probably happen is when we catch one, somehow, some way or another, some check's going to get written, okay, for this Sasquatch, and it's going to end up doing porn. Guaranteed.
I was just going to say, as you were giving your answer, I was going to say within a month of the time that we catch one of these things, there will be a new genre of porn, and that will be squatch porn.
It'll be called either
guaranteed.
Well, now that you got the synapses fired, you're gonna squatch you some porn. Okay, that's gonna be one of the websites.
Squatch some porn. Yeah,
or squatching. You know, with the apostrophe N.
And then they're gonna have the T-shirt. They're gonna have the T-shirt. We will have the T-shirt.
Yeah.
And
TM.
It'll
copyright.
It'll have the coat of arms in the middle, like at a college.
Yeah.
And it'll say Happa Kappa Harry Hog. You know it will.
Yes.
Because that dude's gonna be throwing some. He's going to be slinging some. Come on.
We're talking
He's
about at
9 feet tall.
We're talking about at least a 2-foot penis. and circumference, I don't even want to imagine.
No.
I don't even want to imagine.
No.
Let's just say this. That's going to stem itself into a whole nother breed of subgenres too. You know? You got your BBWs, you got your Asian, you got
VHSs now.
Yeah, you know,
big hairy squatch.
boom. You know,
yeah.
Maybe you get and then you know what other kind of stuff we got. You know, are there female squatches? Do we know? How we working that in threesomes? You know what I mean? Gangbangs. Well, I mean, the mind just runs wild.
Yeah,
literally.
Well, we're getting in on the ground floor. I know that.
Well, let me tell you this. The first person that catches a squatch, I'm sending a check. That's all. It's going to say, .19 Productions. Yeah. This is some seed money to get up the porn company.
Yeah. Because it's coming.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I'm not going to say we're visionary for saying this because I think most people could come to that conclusion. But we might be the first ever on a podcast to say that squatch porn's imminent.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know. Someone could Wikipedia that. Yeah. We're trend-setting, though. You texted me today before we did the show. Yeah. We're making podcast history. That's some of it right there.
There it is.
And this is going to be our, I believe, labeled as our 37th episode. I think it's our 38th total. Yeah. But nobody ever, that I know of, put out that many podcasts from Amish country. Look it up. Podcast Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Guinness. Mic drop.
Guinness.
You like that?
Winslow. Speaking of which.
Yeah, I know. I'm Pepsi Maxless right now.
As am I. As is the studio. Do you want to know why?
Man down. I would pour out a little into my mouth, but
we have a little delivery person who brings dry goods because it's 1851.
Right, on horseback.
Dry goods and tack candy. She brings hardtack,
Sure.
dry goods, and shoes for the horses.
Yeah.
And she did not make it this week. I don't know. There's a sick relative or there's something. Yeah.
What do you think? What would you guess? What's something from the Oregon Trail game? Dysentery. That's probably what she has.
Dysentery.
That's what I'm going to say.
I would imagine.
I'm going to throw it out there.
No, but there was not a delivery this week. There was none in the mini fridge or the big fridge.
Next
and
time,
I apologize.
Just send me a text. I'll swing by and get some Max. Bring it over.
But we
know people.
You've said Pepsi Max. I've said Pepsi Max. So
we still need that check. That's all. I'm not going to.
Cattleman.
Officially.
Cattleman says, love your show.
Thanks, Cattleman.
Do you have any Amish people working on your farm? Oh, that might be for me. You're not a farmer.
No.
You're a city man.
No, I'm not, but I'm not.
You know what? I don't.
No.
I do
not.
You
like to do a lot of the stuff yourself. You're pretty particular.
And I am particular. Mm-hmm. I have an aversion to certain odors.
And beards. Certain weird-looking beards.
No, that's you.
Well, that's me. That's true.
Have you ever seen that guy? I don't know. Remember the guy that was staring you down every time you came on my road? Have you seen him since?
No.
Or
I think he's waiting until maybe one of the later nights I come out where I'll just disappear, end up his horse feed somewhere. Don't tell me those things don't eat meat, by the way. Look at their teeth. Look at the mouths on those things.
I don't want to. Can we not talk about horses?
We won't go down that dark road.
But I do not have any Amish. Mm-mm. I've had people come for certain projects.
Yeah, right.
To fix something or.
Well, because, dude, if you need a house built
regular
in a day, you're going to call the Amish people.
Yeah.
Because like 40 billion show up, and then by lunchtime, all they're needing to do is hook up the electric.
Yeah.
And then you're ready to rock.
You know what? That's something that's something about the American language that has always blown me away.
What?
If a barn, if it was in the news that a barn was razed, that means it was on fire and burned down. But they have barn raisings.
What?
They have barn raisings where they put a barn up.
Maybe.
Where they build a barn.
Maybe we're just mistaken, and all those photos are after the fire.
Gino No says, do you guys have gray pubes? I have some gray pubes. Help. I don't want gray pubes. I think we just got pulled into a drinking game there. Every time I say gray pubes, somebody's taking a yeah.
For the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Gray pubes.
I will record that and put it on a loop.
Oh, in the background.
So it just constantly
light enough so it doesn't over.
Yeah. Then we'll read about this guy's death. Gino No found
killed himself.
Dead. Yeah.
Sunday night.
With alcohol.
Yeah. I don't yet. I don't know how personal you want to get. I got a luscious bushel going on right now. Yeah. Dark. Yeah. Seedy.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Everything you want.
Lush.
I'd have beard envy, I bet, if I saw.
I mean, I don't want to, let me just say this, okay? They got beard oils and stuff now.
Sure.
I don't know if you've seen those.
Sure.
It's a way to cultivate your facial hair. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not the only thing they cultivate. Let's just say
hello.
That. I'm entering, probably lesser known. You've heard of the world's mustache and beard competition?
Sure.
It's a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
How
would I not?
They also have said competition for your netherberries. Let's just say that.
Really?
And your homeboy last year took runner-up. I want the gold this year. Okay.
Wow.
So
you've got so many irons.
I do a lot of stuff.
When it comes to competition, you're very competitive. Clearly.
I don't like to lose. And second is your first loser. Let's be real. Okay. Nobody remembers second place.
No.
Except for the guy that lost to the first place winner. Okay. That's it. But anyway, continue.
What does Ricky Bobby's dad say?
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
But the best part of that entire thing is when he's like, what?
Yeah.
Hell, I was probably high on peyote when I said that. You'd be second, third, fourth, hell, even fifth.
Well, here's my problem. And this won't surprise Cory because he gets a visual of me every
More-
time he comes over.
More than I care to.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
But with my current build, I'll say
let's for the people who haven't seen you.
Mhm.
You're 6 foot-ish, a little more.
little one.
Yeah.
Little one-ish, 6'1".
You're over 6 feet, let's just say it. Over 6 feet.
Let's say it.
4 foot shoulder span, V waist, 6 to 8 pack abs, just depends on the day, how many Fritos he's able to consume. Benching 450, squatting 1,000 probably. I don't know. Those are just ballparks.
Built like a pear and haven't been to the gym in 3 years. So
Now you translate.
I translate that into my ability to observe said bush eels. And I have some difficulty there.
You're going to need
I'm going to tell you right now.
schematics.
I can't inspect, really.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I wear glasses.
Right.
I'm getting older. I wear glasses. I do have contacts, but that's on and off. I'm getting lazy in my old age. But when I get out of the shower, I step out of the shower. There's a mirror right in front of me showing me a full bod view. And but it's too far for my vision for me to be able to see if I have. There's nothing that looks like it's whited out or that it looks like there's fog in that area.
Right.
There's none of that. So I'm going to guess I'm still, I got some years left. Yeah.
I know what I'm going to get you for Christmas now.
Okay.
Pair of shower glasses. That way you can step out, give yourself a proper inspection, throw a Captain Morgan up on the toilet seat, get a full view.
Well, you got to do the Captain Morgan when you're polishing the family jewels.
Sure.
When
you're drying them and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's because you need to get in there. You don't want that mildew smell.
No.
That's
Not
going
on
to
the
turn
church
off
bells.
the ladies. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So, yeah, I'm going to get you some shower glasses, man. That way they're dedicated. They'll be like rec specs, That way you strap them on. You don't have to worry about all that fog. You just wipe them off real quick. Just saying. You can hang them up in there. That's where they'll
I didn't
stay.
know there was such thing.
There's probably not, but I'm going to invent it. TM.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just entrepreneur is the word you're looking for.
How every show is it viral?
By now, I don't know. If people were to listen, like if they wouldn't cut it off like 10 minutes in, then I'm sure that all the gems that we drop. That's why our greatest hit shows, or the only one we've done so far, for New Year's, is like the best show because it has everything super super hilarious wrapped into one show. Well,
that was a good one.
I mean, that's like a greatest hits.
Do you think the music pisses them off? Do you think they listen to the beginning?
No, man, I love that part.
And then
Listen, if it doesn't shock you into getting ready for awesome, then what's the point?
Oh,
if we were going to mellow our way into the show, I wouldn't even want to do it. Like if you were going to go into some show, first of all, I wouldn't have made it past that. I'm like, nope, and clicked it off. At least you're giving me something exciting right off the bat.
Wow.
It could go downhill from there, sure.
You're making me feel good about us.
I feel good about us. Ebony, living in ebony.
We need to take a break. We will be right back. Pepsi Max. Hey B-Teamers, this is Jim, letting you know that our quality, all-cotton, pre-shrunk tagless tee is now available in our store. From the beach to the boardroom, nothing says, hey, look at me, I'm adequate, like a B-Team with Cory and Jim t-shirt. So go to our website at point19productions.com and get you some. O'Brien Medicine. When you care about people, you create relationships, trust, and loyalty that no amount of money can buy. When you care about people, you are truly making a difference in their lives. Better health and wellness through medical and alternative treatments makes our patients' lives better. O'Brien Medicine, offering same-day appointments and flexible scheduling to meet your needs. O'Brien Medicine, tailored treatment options including nutrition, exercise, and medical interventions. Find out more at o'brienmedicine.com or call 614-344-7601. O'Brien Medicine, home of the same-day appointment.
Hi, this is Emma Woods. Check out my book Beast and Savages and listen to the B Team with Cory and Jim.
We're getting those Pepsi Max plugs in 20 minutes ago. Still waiting. On just like a, you know what? I don't even need a 6-pack at this point. If we were to get like a 20 ounce in the mail,
I'd share it.
Not even any. Yeah. Just one.
I'm going to go upstairs see if there are any cans in the trash. Because there's got to be like 80 cans in one. Sure. Not in the trash, in the recycling. Damn.
You know how much hate mail we would have got.
Close.
You planet murdering motherfucker.
Yeah. Let's get caught in the dolphins' blowholes. What? Yeah, those Pepsi Max boxes that I found. I was out one time with the whale lovers, and we saw a dolphin with a Pepsi Max thing on its beak.
It's a flapping.
He couldn't breathe.
Sons of bitches.
Sorry.
Well, that should I don't. This might be a little too early to tease this, but we're working on something Pepsi Max related.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Not contractually, mind you. Not for money. just for funny, if you will.
Ooh.
So be on the lookout for that. You'll know. We'll probably tease it when we get ready to release it, but it's going to be awesome as shit. I'm going to say that now because it will be.
And we keep telling people about videos.
Yeah, we'll get to those. If you haven't figured out 38 episodes in that we like to procrastinate a tad, then you're sorely mistaken.
It's going to be a long ride for you.
Yeah. Strap in.
Yeah.
Strap in. You're clearly in for some surprises, but because you're not picking up what we're putting down, but that's all right.
You are not.
We'll get there, man. I don't think people realize. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
I don't think people realize how it doesn't seem like putting on a weekly show would be difficult. But let me just. I'm just gonna
logistics 101.
Yes, let's
here we go.
Talk about that for half a second. You got two dudes that co-own and host a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Sounds real easy.
Right. You're like,
simple so far.
Put
headphones on and talk.
That's it.
What's up with you fags?
Idiots. So you got scheduling.
Whew.
Two dudes have families.
Yeah.
Two dudes have other jobs. Do other stuff. Coordinate all that into a time to record in a timely manner without a monkey wrench being thrown into that.
Yeah.
A little tricky to do.
A sick baby, a wife with an appointment,
You name it. You name it.
Yep.
So that's just one thing. Second thing, you're trying to come up with a show to talk about every week. Mm-hmm. So you gotta have. I'm not gonna
plus
say
writing other things.
Right.
I know you're probably gonna get to that, but there's other writing than this show. That's
we have our show, which is largely. I don't know if most people know. We do have notes, if you will. Our show's not scripted.
No.
Like it's not.
You can't tell you.
You can't script magic like this. But anyway. But anyway, so you have that to deal with. You're coming up with content every week for a show. Mm-hmm. That's another. Then on the other end, you have ideas in writing for other projects related to the production company,
and sometimes not related to.
And
you for instance have upwards of 5 businesses going
currently,
5 income streams.
I have 3.
Yeah,
I co-own this LLC with you.
You do.
I own another one.
Yes, you do.
I have a full-time job. So yeah, I mean, stuff gets in the way a lot.
A little.
So when we say we're going to get to it, we are. All right. When, mind you, is a different story.
Yeah.
Because also then you have to think about this. This isn't a booming business. The podcast, nobody gets into podcasting for money unless you're already super rich and famous.
Yeah.
Because you get sponsorships.
Hello, Joe Rogan.
Right. Jerry. Much love, though. It's a good show.
Yeah. Norm MacDonald.
But but we don't have booming piles of cash here to fund equipment to produce all of these things. You know what I mean? So
we have ideas in our head, but
absolutely.
making them work
is the tricky part because you have to have
the technology
stuff
to
do it. Yeah. That's why we were saying, if an intern out there that ever listens to this wants to just help out for no college credit and maybe a letter of recommendation, just give us a call.
High praise and all the Pepsi Max you can drink if it's delivered.
Yeah, if you purchase it, we'll allow you to drink it while you're doing stuff for the show. If
we have an intern, are we allowed to send them for Pepsi Max?
I would assume.
If we don't get a delivery?
Well, let me just say this. If they don't get the Pepsi Max, that's going to be a couple notches on that letter.
Let me ask you this, because I think there was like a presidential thing or something. Can we have sex with the interns? Or
well,
are you allowed? That's a thing.
It's not in our bylaws to not have it.
A dress,
nor
cigar,
blowjob. I'm remembering.
Oh.
Now I'm remembering. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
there was a presidential pardon.
He got away with it.
Yeah.
And he's the most powerful man in America. So I feel like we'd be all right.
Good. All right.
I don't know.
So if you're in the age range of yes, we've mentioned that.
18 to 25.
Yeah.
Preferably closer to 18. That's so wrong.
Yeah.
Just shout us, and you're good with electronics.
Oh, please.
That's got to be a requirement.
Yeah, you show up for this interview and you don't have your own computer.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long day.
It's going to be it'll be a short day for you. It'll be a long day for us. But and not to be weird, but we're going to need a headshot before you submit that.
And by head, we mean waist up. So,
knees up. Yeah. And from several, kind of like a prison photo.
I have information for you.
I'm ready.
This is something that I don't know if you know this or not.
I might. I'll tell you.
Do you know why male buttons are on one side of the shirt and female buttons are on the other side?
No.
On a shirt?
Let me tell you this. I don't even know that it was a thing. I thought all buttons were on the same side. Just because.
Let me ask you this. Do you know that a button down has nothing to do with the shirt buttoning itself? It's the collar. That's a button down.
What?
So if you're calling a shirt...
Why do you know so many facts about shirts?
So,
first of all.
I do some shopping.
Well, clearly. And you're pretty dapper.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1940 wants its word back.
I got a gold card to one of the, it rhymes with men's
snare
fair house. Yeah.
Nice. Flynn's Blair Nouse. Nice.
Oh, Flynn, that reminded me of a friend.
Well, let's get to the buttons first.
Ronnie
then we'll talk about Ronnie. Yeah. But later.
Yeah, he's good.
He'll listen to the show.
He's nice.
He's great.
He's awesome. The buttons. They're on one side on a man's shirt.
Yes.
And on the other side on a woman's shirt.
Yes.
I was asking if you knew why.
I do not. I have no idea.
So the answer to that is that back in, because, shirts, buttoned shirts, you might not know this, go back to like the 13th century.
I'm sure.
And
I feel like they've been, but let me tell you this. Can I just interrupt for a second? They've been around that long, but no motherfucker can sew a button on there to last longer than 6 months before it falls or rips off.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches. I feel like the technology exists to make that a non-existent thing. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
Thanks, Obama.
Nice.
So, no, it's because back in the day when you had a footman or someone to help you out, a valet,
a slave.
if you will.
Slave.
Yeah.
Indentured servant. That's another one.
Yeah. It's like for the females, it's easier to button for them. It's easier for them to button it.
Oh, from the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew?
Does that make any sense to you?
No, because that's a long time to keep doing shit the same way.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have slaves anymore. Well, we don't here. I'm sure some people do. Mm-hmm. I don't know where. Mm-hmm. But warlords, it's a thing. Look it up.
I had a man that dressed me every morning for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah, he called the cops.
Well, sure.
So I stopped going to his house every morning. Man, that's a late. That was
I thought you were just going to say your dad,
Yeah.
and that would have been great.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that would have been way less
I'm going
painful.
to rewrite that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I do that one
Just
again?
knock that out.
Can I do that one again? All right.
Throw that in the trash.
Retake. Okay. I had a man who used to dress me.
You don't say.
My dad.
Boom.
All
Again,
right.
God, I'm good at fake laughing. Man,
That's it. You do have that down.
I'll do.
You sound a little apish. That's not offensive. in
No,
any way.
because I sounded like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yes.
The Sasquatch
Yes, you
from Harry and the Hendersons.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen that movie, we've talked about it. It's
Yeah.
a classic.
see it today.
It goes through the full gambit of human emotions when dealing with a Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
First emotion, you hit it, and you're surprised that you hit one with your car. So what's your first instinct? We about to get paid.
Yeah.
They throw that thing on the roof. They're like, we want to have some photos in the motherfucker. Send them down to the museum. Let me get that check, right?
Yeah.
Secondly,
My Sasquatch check.
it wakes up.
Waiting for that Sasquatch
Right?
money to come
It
in.
wakes up. You didn't get it good enough, right? It wakes up, starts
You stunned it.
crushing your house up. So what's the next emotion? I'm going to shoot this motherfucker in the face.
Because I'm skirt.
Dude is up on the ladder. Lithgow.
Yeah.
Dialing it in. Dialing it in right in between his eyes. And then he's like, that music comes in. Can't do it. Can't do it. Me, I'd have sniped it.
Hates dancing. Loves Sasquatch.
Yeah.
John Lithgow.
Boom.
Mm.
And has a real problem with Dexter Morgan.
Yep.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Which, if you haven't seen the fourth season of
Nope.
Dexter, do yourself a favor. You don't
Please.
even have to watch any of the other seasons. Watch that one, dude. John Lithgow. Brava.
Oh, man.
How he didn't get nominated for an Emmy, he might have, but he should have anyway, because he was super creepy in that series, man. And it made me laugh so hard. It was a super inappropriate scene, but he's talking to his wife, you know?
Yeah.
And he tells her to shut up, cunt. And I was like, it's so out of the norm because you don't think of it that coming from that dude.
Not Lithgow.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Third Rock.
Yeah, man.
Solid, man.
Yeah. Oh, he's good.
Solid.
Dude, he was in Shrek, man. He played the little midget guy, the midget king.
Yeah. Yeah.
Farquhar.
Farquhar.
Yeah, Lithgow, baby.
We know. We know a Farquhar.
I'm a fan of Jay.
Yeah.
JL.
Yeah.
My boy.
No doubt about it. Rest in peace.
No.
So, wait.
He's still alive, I think,
Oh, why the hell are we talking about him?
because he's
He's still
hilarious.
living.
We touched a little bit on politics too, by the way. I want to jump into that because I was in the belly of the beast today.
Ooh.
Little RNC action.
Really?
Not on purpose, mind you.
Yeah.
I didn't go there because I didn't want to be involved in a riot nor
Yeah.
a bunch of punchy.
Now, this is
stuff.
taking place in Cleveland,
Cleveland,
Ohio.
Ohio.
And you were there?
Yeah. Passing through.
Okay.
Me, the missus, the baby, and a friend. We were dropping her off for a ride. Transportation. She was taking a little vacation. Just stopped in to say hello.
Oh, nice.
And picked up. That was the nearest stop for her to get to her next destination. So I knew that it was going on, and there may be some traffic logistics to work through. Okay,
Yeah.
have that in my mind. Getting in to Cleveland was pretty smooth. Not a lot of headaches, right? Got to where we needed to go, get her dropped off. Getting out, mind you, it was like a goddamn war zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're going to get you in quickly and easily and smooth. They're going to make it pretty because they want that cash out of your wallet.
Now,
Yeah. Now to get away to escape.
I saw more black SUVs in this little area than I've ever seen in my life.
Racist.
Now, it was a little bit, but they weren't white.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
Oh.
maybe that's what they need to do to start throwing people off. But anyway, So yeah, I'm driving around. They got normal streets that are two-way converted into one-way. So the GPS system up there is you might as well just wipe your ass and throw it out the window because it's worthless. It is absolutely worthless. It's telling me to go all different directions. I'm getting yelled at by cops, fucking people just walking by on the road.
Yeah.
Trying to navigate my way out of here. You know, I'm there for 10 minutes and I'm like, it feels like I've been there all week. I'm ready to roll. So I'm
your horse is
10
shitting
minutes,
all over the
right,
street.
My horse is pooping like crazy. People throwing pumpkins.
Saying it's 2016, Yoder.
Get off your horse, you freak.
Park the buggy.
Horse cops chasing me.
Yeah.
Getting in pursuits. So anyway, I'm like, I got to get out of here. I think I find my way, right? Clear path I can see on the GPS. Everything looks good. And then I'm going to get to my exit strategy on my highway out, and I'm done. I'm gone. Mm-hmm. Ha-ha! Everything's smooth.
Roll the windows. Go to window.
I get to where I need to go straight. Cop van, boom, blocks it. So I got to divert right. That puts me at the epicenter of the RNC. There was more Secret Service-y looking dudes than I've ever seen in my life around one Marriott at Cleveland. I just looked at the wife and said, "We're here. We've made it into the belly of the beast." Yeah. You know,
look, there's Trump.
No, I didn't see him because I could tell you that would have been easy to spot. It would have been all kinds of people chucking shit and fights going on everywhere. And I'm like, well, that's where he is. Yeah. Clearly. Let's go this way.
Yeah.
No, we saw some pink ladies that were protesting. They had a bunch of pink shit on. I don't know what they were. I didn't read in their signs because they were blocking my way, traffic. So I was contemplating, do I want to get charged for hitting all of them with my car?
Especially since they're probably breast cancer survivors.
No,
with the pink.
I don't think that they had. They look like statues of liberty.
No,
I don't know. They could have been breast cancer people. I didn't see any ribbons though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was crazy, man. Like it was a lot. Like I saw more cops in there than I've ever seen in my life. They were on like every street corner and like hordes of them, man.
Yeah.
Like they were just ready for whatever was going to happen. Like clearly something was going to jump off. Which I think there is at some point. There's a riot coming to Cleveland, Ohio here.
They're not going to play.
Within the next couple of days.
They're not going to play.
No, man. It's going to
bring that to their door.
Shit's going to
watch what
real.
Happens. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, man. So
because the cops, you have to understand, the cops from Cleveland are from Cleveland.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a different world. They say,
I can't even make the joke. I got one right here.
I know. So did I. I had one.
But I'm not gonna.
No,
because that's just all bad.
It is. Yep.
It's all bad.
That'll end bad for us. Yep. Okay.
Let's be a little wiser. Let's talk about something fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Not the RNC candy.
But you got out of there. You got.
Finally, I just decided after I hit the epicenter, I was like, all right, I'm going straight one way until I don't see anything. I don't see any police. I don't see any people, and I don't see any political crap anywhere. If I see that,
you're just praying to see a tree.
And I got out far enough where I could. Yeah. I still hit a little bit on the way out, but gunned it. Gunned it to 88 in a 55. Almost hit a couple kids, but still, I made it out of there. Is the important thing.
Yeah, because it's about
unscathed. Oh, of course. Yeah. Of course, I don't care about the children.
No, they're the future.
Not my future. Straight up Gran Turismo. No. I haven't even seen that movie. I just know that he hates everybody in that film, especially Asians. I think. I don't know. This is all based on previews, but I don't know.
I've seen it. It's something.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood's a fine actor.
Please.
Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's just an awesome name in itself, but. He does the westerns too.
Oh yeah. He did a bunch of spaghetti westerns
really
back in the day, and
really good. Good, Bad, and the Ugly, man. Classic.
Pale Rider.
Paint the Town Red. Let's go. Huh?
And then what did he do? When did he jump the shark? Yeah, Right Turn, Clyde.
Everybody's got to have an 8 movie, man.
Come on, man.
It doesn't matter. No.
Everybody seems to have a movie. And that's a good place to start right there. Everybody, you could see the most successful guy in the world. He gets to a point where they either get this dude in a dress or they get him to act with an animal,
Yep.
or they get him to do the voice of an animal. Kevin flippin' Spacey, one of our best and brightest, is playing like some raccoon or something, or a cat or something in a new movie.
Yeah,
He's a voice of
guarantee he got paid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For that one.
Yeah.
There's no doubt, man. That's why Eddie Murphy stopped doing regular movies and did all Dr. Doolittle. That dude was cleaning house with cash, making truckloads of money.
Well, that and Shrek, right?
Yeah,
He was killing it.
killing
with
Shrek. Yeah. He was at a couple years ago, maybe like half a decade ago. He was like the top paid actor in Hollywood just because of that. The kids' movies, family movies, man.
Just doing voiceover,
raking in dough. Raking in dough,
Oh.
man. Killing it. So, yeah, Kevin Spacey, man. Go clear the check for sure. He's like, let me make sure this goes in the account. Doesn't bounce.
Dude, horrible bosses. Come on.
Unbelievable. The cast in itself, man. When your weakest piece is Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah,
That's your weakest piece. You're doing all right.
Yeah.
You're doing all right, man. Because that dude, that was the first one alone was just lined with heavy hitters, man.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell, you got Kevin Spacey. At Charlie Day was at the height of his peak.
Man.
During that.
Jamie Foxx, who I'm not a fan.
I am a fan, but
I would not be his representative in anything, but solid as a rock.
Unbelievable.
As MFJ.
Motherfucker Jones. Yeah, dude. I mean, Jennifer Aniston, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Say what you want there.
Yeah.
Okay. 50. Still getting it. Unbelievable genes there.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, I don't know if there's been any work done. If there has,
don't care.
I don't care either because it's all looking good. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. And then my boy Bateman. Holy smokes, man.
Always.
The dude, I mean, granted, his range isn't phenomenal as far as what he does acting-wise.
But I'm a fan of the range he has.
There's nobody better.
Fan of that.
There's nobody better at doing what he does.
He could, as they say, it's something that's just beat to death, but I would watch him read a phone book.
Right.
Because he would, with facial expressions and his intonation.
Unbelievable. Well, yeah, at his thing, man, he just crushes
that deadpan.
The second one. Have you seen that one yet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, the scene where he's in that Sexaholics Anonymous or whatever with Aniston is maybe one of the funniest scenes I've seen in the past.
When he sends
decade.
people out of the room. When they send him out of the room.
Yeah, man.
It
is unbelievably funny. Unbelievably funny.
It is.
It had me almost. Well, no, I was in tears at that scene. It was unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable.
You didn't happen to write that scene, did you? You weren't in on that one.
Well, let me just say this. I sent some notes. I was a little upset to find out I wasn't in any of the producer credits at the end of the movie, nor did I make it IMDb.
No.
Which you know that game.
Oh,
it's all political.
Do I
it's all political.
know that game.
Unless you're IMDb Pro and pay your way in.
I know.
I'm not doing that. I'm going to earn that shit.
I can't. Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
We just need to start making movies, clearly.
I can't even get it uncredited. And after, you know what I'm saying?
And you've been in 2 legit films. No, you've been in one super legit film. Now, granted, you can't see you in it, but you were there. The other one, you didn't have a speaking role, but goddamn, did you act out the shit of that? Close up, facial expressions, everything. Mm-hmm. Like a goddamn pro.
I was writing without looking, chewing gum.
And you didn't even have gum in.
Nope.
Come on, man. Yeah. Acting right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Summertime Christmas. If you haven't seen it, folks, pick it up at your local HBO stores or wherever.
Stores.
They got them everywhere. They're on every corner. Blockbuster's 1, 2 that they're still around. So, yeah, pick one up. Pick a copy up.
Get it on beta.
I think you can still get it on VHS for $1.50. Amazon.com. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but I feel like you could. Now, do you still have your stack of autographed VHSs, or are those all gone? You send those out? all of those out. Excuse me.
No, I still have a few boxes.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll just bring those to a couple of our live events.
We're going to have a garage sale.
No, you don't want to sell those. Those are collector's items, okay? When you give one of those to somebody, okay, you change their life forever. Because 50 to 60 million years from now, when somebody preserves that one VHS, that thing's going to be worth a ton of money. It's not going to matter that it's one of the worst films ever made. But not your movie per se. I'm just saying a VHS film, the cassette itself. It's like an 8-track, you know?
What about the laser disc? Where'd that go?
I don't know. I can't. Can you even find those anywhere?
No.
I think
they were the size of trash can lids.
I think what they got turned into was trap shooting discs. Because everybody had a plethora, and they were like, well, nobody wants these anymore because they're 1,000 pounds. So let's just shoot them.
Yeah.
Worked out
For a long time, I used to, you know how they call people meta now? Like they'll say,
well, that's so meta.
That's
meta.
I love
that.
He's meta.
I love doing that at non-meta times.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. One of my faves.
I used to, back in my day, I used to call people beta. I used to say it was beta because when all that was happening, because
technology and shit.
Because you have to remember, I was around before
saw
VHS.
It. That's right.
I saw
you
it.
were around before the internet.
So you had, at the time, for a short period of time, there were two camps. There was the VHS camp and the beta camp.
Right.
Okay, because the beta was like a VHS tape, but like a quarter of the size.
Right.
You know, or half the size. And I knew a few people who were really, really hardcore in that beta camp. All right. And when it went, I was in no camp because I didn't care.
Right.
No.
Does that play? Can I get porn on that?
Yeah.
On both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
We're good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. You can still buy beer, right? If you pick
nobody
beta or VHS.
Prohibition's not on the table anymore, right? Cool.
But the guys who picked beta were of a certain ilk. So
let me guess.
And then VHS kicked beta's butt all over the place.
Just like
and
Blu-ray and HD DVD.
Yeah, all we had was VHS after that for a 10-year span.
You know why? I think we've talked about it. But you know why VHS won?
Why?
Porn.
Yes, you did.
That's
you
why Blu-ray run
enlightened us
too.
on that.
That's why Blu-ray run.
Yeah.
Whatever porn picks, man, that's what gets the green light every time.
Well, that must have happened then because it got.
I studied
beta
about
got
it.
squashed. So that's what when I would see somebody that reminded me of one of those guys who picked beta and was wrong. Who, you know.
All right, I'm gonna throw out a physical description for you right now.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. You tell me how close I'm hitting.
What are you going to describe? VHS or beta?
Beta.
Go.
Beta. Because VHS is pretty standard, man. Everybody had that thing.
Yeah.
Beta. Ponytail. And it doesn't matter gray. I'm getting gray mostly.
Yeah.
But it could be brown, whatever. Throw a color on it. It doesn't matter. There's a ponytail.
Because they're new to technology. That's exactly right. They're new to technology, but they're old guys.
Right.
New to it and think smaller is better. Because remember, cell phones were the size of matchbooks.
Tiny.
For a while.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got the ponytail.
Yeah.
You got and that's a widowed peak ponytail too. We're getting some receding action going on. Glasses.
Always. Yep.
Okay. Now this is jeans or some kind of a corduroy pant.
Jorts, usually.
I was gonna say either folded up 3/4 or cut.
No, usually jorts and Birkenstocks.
I was going to say Birkenstocks.
Yes, you were.
And then I'm going to say either just a plain or a T-shirt could have something on it, or a T-shirt with either an old army kind of surplus type of jacket, or maybe a jean jacket that's been bedazzled, or there's some paint on it.
Yeah. You know what? At that time, that's funny you say that because that was very popular. We called them army jackets.
Yes.
The olive
drab
jacket with or without the liner. We didn't care. Oh yeah.
That's still popular against hipsters and stuff.
Yeah, they were super popular back.
So that's
back
that's
then.
what that's my
'Cause
visual of
everybody
the
wanted
beta
to be
dude.
Serpico. Yeah.
White Sunny, man.
Yeah.
Every time anybody mentions Serpico, that's what I go to is Charlie Day.
Yeah.
Be it Al Pacino and Serpico, man. It's the best. It's the best, man.
Yeah.
That dude was hilarious.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
he is. He is.
So yeah, that's my take on beta guy.
And
How
that's it.
close?
You're
Pretty
right
close?
there. You're dead
Pretty
on.
Close.
Dead on. Well, you didn't say yellowed
Teeth,
toenails. Yellowed toenails
teeth
that are
too.
way too long.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Coming
Personal
out of the-
hygiene. I should just put that as a cat. There's no personal hygiene
Nope.
going on.
No, sir.
And a cigarette pack hanging out of that front pocket.
Yeah.
Probably Marlboros. Not that that's saying anything about anybody.
No.
I'm gonna get pissed off. I'm just saying, generally, when you see it,
If they're
it's
smokers,
because they're popular.
If they're smokers, they're not going to be around for very long anyway. So
The best, I have an awesome little story for me about cigarettes and cigarette ads.
yeah.
All right. When my dad had collected, obviously, everybody's, well, not anymore, but back in a little older time, everybody's dad had that stack of porno mags, Playboys and stuff, Well, you'd find them, you stumble upon them somehow because you were looking.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you get them, and as you're flipping through, I mean, you skip all the articles and crap. Nobody gives a shit about those.
Nope.
If you say you do, you're a goddamn liar. But you'd come across these Newport cigarette ads. Okay. Now, me, being the jackass that I am, thought that they were the best ads of any cigarette company because they were so bad, they were good. It's kind of like Michelob Ultra. When people are like doing athletic competitions
Yeah.
and drinking,
Yeah.
it's like, come on, that doesn't happen.
No.
You don't get better at sports by drinking alcohol.
No.
You think you do. You think you get super awesome.
Nobody with a 6-pack,
Is
you know what I'm
drinking
saying?
beer.
Nobody is
Unless
with a
you're on
6-pack
steroids.
yeah.
Or in the NFL. But I digress. So anyway, Newport smokes, man. They always had like the best scenes going on. Like the people smoking were having the most fun of their lives, but they would be doing just like some of them would be just weird, like dudes doing like a knee up, double down fist pump, knee up thing with a cigarette. Or sometimes you wouldn't even see a cigarette.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Where's the
Just
cigarette?"
the pack laying on the,
I'm like,
the picnic table.
Where's the cigarettes at?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is an ad. Or like they'd be doing something like beach volleyball or something. They'd be weird. Like they were always like super cheesy. And I thought they were hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
I love them. Good for you, Newport. I don't know if anybody smokes shit anymore, but I don't know if you still make cigarettes. You should for a pack. It's like $7 for a pack of cigarettes. You got to be cleaning house now. Either that or they're just stumbling.
$7. How many is in a pack?
I don't even know.
Jeez,
Maybe 20. Maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
My goodness gracious.
That seems crazy to me. But then again, I would pay $10 for a 30-pack. What up, Genesee Light?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's one of your best deals, folks, if you didn't know, on a 30-pack. That's hard to beat, even for Natty. It's not good.
Do you know
beer.
what they have now?
What?
The Natty Daddy.
Which is?
A 25-ounce Natty, 8%.
Let me just
I saw him.
a tear.
I saw him.
I would have destroyed so many of those.
It was 1,000 degrees a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I went into a little shop not too
Convenience
far
store.
from here, convenience store. And they had one of those beer caves.
Mm.
And it was so hot, I'm like, I'm going
Those
to
are
stand
awesome.
in there
Oh, my God, yeah.
for a minute.
It's
to
a refrigerator you get to walk in.
5. Yep.
Yes.
And I did, so I start reading packages. And
It
I
is
saw
kinda like
the
Christmas.
Natty Daddy.
8%. Yeah, man. They're jacking up the alcohol in beer now.
25 ounces, too.
That's a party in a bottle? Or
One
in a
free
can?
ounce.
Is it can?
That's what I think's funny is when they put on there you get 1 free ounce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is funny.
I'll spill that, pour it into a glass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because about 7 of those deep.
Oh, yeah.
When you're cracking into the rest of them,
Yeah.
you're going to get a little. Yeah. Just drink it like glasses. What is this?
Well, we better wrap this up.
Always wrap it up.
I got stuff.
Or pull out.
Mm.
Sound advice.
Rhythm.
That doesn't really work.
No.
Somebody going to get pregnant.
Just ask Maddie.
No, that was intentional. That was planned.
That, sir. There were forms filled out.
Yeah.
There were
Contracts.
signatures, initials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I operate, though.
Those little stickers
You know,
that have the,
yep.
that have the
Sign
arrow
here.
stickers. Yeah.
Here, initial here. You're going to want to sign down there, and then initial here with the date.
So you can get us on the face page,
the
lookout
Insta
point,
photo, the tweet box,
the grab bag,
grab ass,
snickerdoodle, and snickerdoodle light.
light. Yep.
Yeah.
What else? Well, I feel like we're missing one.
No.
Is that most of them?
Clown punch
Bart box,
and toad liquor.
toad liquor.
Yep,
Boom.
that's it. So
Hit any
reach
of
out
those
there,
up, you'll
get
have the
us.
entire library.
You get it. All I ask you to do is love somebody.
Yeah.